Okay, guys, let's talk about cleaning your Mosin. So what I've got here is this is my preferred method. You might have your own, and it works great for you. This is just what I use, what works for me. I've got my CLP. I've got a bottle of hops, some patches, a boar snake, and then the all-important boiling hot water. So what I would normally do to clean is I would remove the bolt from the rifle. So I would just remove the bolt and I would clean this. I would spray down this area here with some CLP and just work, just clean, just spray CLP on this set of the side. This surprisingly doesn't get that dirty. The bolt face will get some crud on it after about 100 shots or so. Just clean it up and set it aside. No big deal. So we'd set that aside. And then what I would do is I'd take my boiling hot water and then I basically just, this would be, in a, outside or whatever. I'd basically stand the rifle up and I would just pour my boiling water down the receiver, just right here, down in the breech, and I would just pour it through the barrel and just let it come out the other side. And I'll pour probably, half of this kettle of boiling water. Just pour it down the bore. And the important thing is, in the surplus ammo, there's corrosive salts in the primers, and those are what cause the issues with weapons when you fire corrosive ammo. A lot of people question, what is corrosive, what does it do, why is it corrosive, all that. And it's salts in the primers, and it just helps for longevity of the ammunition in storage. So those salts get inside the bore on the metal, because generally these bores aren't chrome lined or anything. So those corrosive salts will just eat away at the metal. So the important thing is just getting those salts out, and water. And you hear guys will do like Windex because of ammonia and things like that. They're really, my belief is, and what guys I've talked to, and then just basic, if you just use science, is salt will go, salt will be broken down, absorbed, and washed away by just good old water. So I'll pour, half of this down the bore just to flush as much stuff out of there as I can. Then what I'll do is I'll take a couple patches, and I will, shove it, put a patch or two in the in the bore, plug it up, and I'll just take my CLP, just spray the area back in here, and then I'll just spray down the breech and just get the barrel good and full of CLP. And then I'll just let it sit for 15 minutes or so. Then what I'll do is, if every couple hundred rounds, I'll go to the additional step. Before I CLP, I'll run hops down the bore, just to break down, the copper and stuff like that does build up. Or in this case, on most of the military surplus, it's a bimetal jacket. So you just want to break down that stuff, get it out of there. But again, I just do the hops probably every third range trip. I'll throw some hops on there. So anyway, so every third trip or so I'll hop the bore, but generally CLP just takes care of it. So again, I'll plug the bore, run my CLP, let it sit, I'll take my plugs out, drain it out, and then sometimes I'll run a patch up and down it, and then that's when the cleaning rod that is attached to the rifle. So I would just use the cleaning rod. It comes with one. The hops, you could buy cleaning rods and all that stuff, but the rifle has one built in, so I just use that. Put a couple patches on it, run the rod through the bore, clean it up until it's basically till these come out, clean. And then basically I'll fill this again, boil it while I'm cleaning, run another half to full pot of water if I'm feeling like it, just run that through, and then I'll come back, take some CLP, spray the bore, just let it drip through, and then I run my, is my snake in here? Yes, it is right there. And then I'll just run my bore snake up and down the barrel a couple times. and that's it. Everything's got a nice sheen to it. Everything's got a coat of oil from the CLP. The salts have been broken down, removed. Everything's been lubed. And then that's it. Then I just go back in with a microfiber towel, just wipe all the excess moisture off of everything, and that's it. And basically just go back and, every couple hundred rounds, I'll break down the bolt, clean it all up, put it back together, and then other than that, you're good to go. So, I mean, really, there's not a big mystery to, corrosive ammo and all that. It's not this big scary thing or something you should be afraid of. It's just, all it means is, you go to the range or the woods or wherever you shoot, and, you shoot 100 rounds, 200 rounds, 300 rounds, whatever it is. All you need to do is when you get home, you just have to clean your rifle. That's all it means. With my AKs, with chrome lined barrels and things like that, I shoot non-corrosive ammo, and I'll clean. Sometimes I won't clean the gun for 3 range trips, but that's the benefit of chrome lining, new production ammunition, all that stuff. With rifles like this, non-chrome line shooting the surplus stuff, all it means is that once you've shot it, just clean it, and it takes 15-20 minutes to do it. You're not using anything exotic. You might not like boar snakes. I do, so I use one. You might not like CLP, so you use something else. That's fine. You might not like hops. That's fine. The important thing is just breaking down the salts and flushing them out, and that is just good old water. That's really the key. The key component to this is, you could, let's think wartime. If you're sitting in the middle of the woods fighting a war on the Eastern Front, and you've got little at your disposal. I mean, what would be perfect to clean these rifles is, you would take some snow, put it in your metal helmet, boil light a fire, boil the water, melt it down, pour the boiling water through. Then you could use motor oil. Take your shoelaces, dip it in motor oil, and just run them through, and that would be enough. As long as you're cleaning the salts out, the water is the key, and then just lubricating after that to keep corrosion from building up. It's just real simple stuff. So there's no big mystery to it. Don't be afraid of it. It just means that if you shoot your rifle, you have to clean your rifle. You can't be lazy and go, I'll do it tomorrow or the next day, because you may have corrosion already forming. So that's the trick, is just clean it. And really, there's no trick to it. That's something we should all be practicing anyway. So that, as far as cleaning a Mosin goes, that's really all there is to it. Other than that, I'll put a little bit of wood oil on the stocks. A couple times a year, I'll oil the stocks. Beyond that, I shoot them. I enjoy them. I'm not afraid of how many shots I put through them or this or how, that's the way I clean them. Some guys might have a different preferred method. That's mine. So that's it. So for any other information I might have missed or something you're curious about, I'll put a link right here. 762by54.net is a great website where you can get information about Mosins, all the markings and stampings that are going to be on your receiver. See if I can get that in there. So you got all your stampings, your markings. You'll have all that information. And what they call them is cartouches. So you have all the marks in your stock. What's factory mark, what's been refurbished, what's all that stuff. It's all talked about in there. So you could basically, with a little bit of time researching, you can go look at a rifle and have a real good idea of what you're getting before you pay for it. Because yes, they're not modern, they're not fancy. Some people even call them ugly. Personally, this Model M44, I think this is a gorgeous rifle. It's one of my favorite rifles I own. And I think it's beautiful. But some people, it's not American or it's not British, therefore it must be a piece of crap. So opinions vary. But yes, they're not $1,000 rifles, but $100 rifle or $200 rifle or even a $300 rifle, depending on what it is. You know, it's hard-earned money, so you want to get the best you can get for your money. So with a little bit of studying, knowing what's available, what you're getting into, and what to expect, hopefully this video helps with those things. Hopefully it might help you make that leap and say, you know what, okay, I'm going to go spend $150, buy a Mosin, spend, you know, $80 on a can of ammo, and you go shoot for a weekend and just have a great time. And know how to properly clean it, maintain it, and all that, which is really as basic as it gets. So, that being said, if you have any comments, questions, anything you want to see, I know I wish I could have shot these things. My range, they don't really like me. You know, they know me there. They when it's crowded, they don't necessarily want me filming because they don't want other shooters being distracted or being paranoid about me filming and stuff like that. So I will try to get some shooting in action video here soon for Mosins and things like that. So that all being said, comments, questions, thanks for watching. My subscribers, please pass these things on if you think it's good and helpful. And other than that, if you have anything else, feel free to comment. And you know, that's it. Go Seahawks. Sloppy Joe out.